in your safe spot now. If you're just watching along with us, you are, again, in portions of most of St. Joseph County right now, our concern are for areas that will probably see more of the stronger wind as we go over the next 5 or 10 minutes. So if you're in this view, Laporte in Kingsford Heights, you're inside, away from windows, get, again, away from anything that could fall on your head. Strong wind is coming. More warnings have been issued just towards the west. So for South Bend, Plymouth, and Rochester, tornado warnings have been expanded pretty much across all of northern Indiana, past US 31 up until the Elkhart County line. So western Elkhart County, western Kosciuszko County now. And we're giving you that time frame. So Walkerton, Plymouth, South Bend, just before midnight. These storms have accelerated, and so we're forecasting a strong gust of wind that could produce tornadoes. That is the concern right now. Etna Green and Elkhart, midnight to about 12:15 to 12:30. So here's the now, happening right now. The strong wind gusts are about to move into Laporte, move through the Knox and Winnemac area. Up next, South Bend, Plymouth, Rochester. That's closer to midnight. So we're giving you 20 minutes. First warning that, hey, I know it's not happening now. If you're watching in South Bend and Mishawaka, it's not happening now. 20 minutes from now, we're expecting this line to go through. Power outages are likely. Strong wind gusts are likely. And then outside of that, Elkhart towards the Warsaw area, Elkhart City, and portions of eastern Elkhart County. We're talking up to the Indiana 19 corridor. That's around 12:15 to 12:30. Most of this line should now push through likely by 12:30 if it continues to accelerate. But this is what we're watching and focused on right now. This is now the leading line through here. I want to go back and we're going to look at some of this data again right in here as we look at the kind of our scope tool, and I want to look at some of the velocity right through here. So again, we're kind of focused in. You can kind of see these bright blues across portions of Stark County right now, and all this is an indication of strong straight-line wind. So we're already seeing even some wind reports beginning to come in. This is just general wind gusts. We're seeing wind gusts in Michigan City of 33 miles per hour. The latest wind gusts in Valparaiso of 44 miles per hour. In the Knox area of 30 miles per hour. And that's just at the recording sites at the airport. So the strong wind is coming with this line of storms. We continue to watch everything very closely right now. As we'll kind of go in and we'll click on some of the data tool here and we'll look at the velocity. I want to kind of go in very closely. Anywhere you're seeing this bright blue, and as this line gets closer to the radar, we get a little bit better data. We get a little bit better what we call sampling in here. But again, this is just one data point anywhere along this line. But northern Stark County, the estimates crossing the US 35 corridor right through here, goes right through Knox, has already moved through Indiana 39, is estimating the wind moving towards the radar at 86 miles per hour at the scan level. At the surface, that gives us good confidence that the wind may be picking up anywhere from 70 to 75 miles per hour. And there's the concern that anything can spin up very quickly here. So the storms are moving in right now. They're coming very close. And again, things are going to get worse before they get any better. And we're about to get more and more active here. I want to go to meteorologist Dave Caulfield. As you can see here, the city of Laporte, the storm is about to move in. Bring his mic up and we can talk back and forth if you want. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield, you're in a good position right now. The storm is about to move into Laporte.
Yeah, so Tom, it is basically here as we speak. The rain has picked up. You can see on the trees there, look at that wind. Look at that wind coming through, blowing the rain across the parking lot. This has really just been over the last minute or maybe even 30 seconds. You can see just how strong this wind is. And we are really losing visibility on our camera here almost. The rain isn't all that heavy just yet, but that wind has definitely picked up. We are in the parking lot of the CVS here off of Indiana 2 in downtown Laporte. and some things blowing around. Just saw power flashes in this area as this wind is incredibly strong at this point, and it's super sudden. Really, just over the last minute or so is when we have seen this wind pick up like this, and you can see on the trees there. Oh my goodness, power flashes off in the distance. This is incredible video that we're seeing in real time of this extremely strong line moving through. The trees are sort of struggling to keep up with this wind. There's debris occasionally blowing across this parking lot. And yeah, it's super strong wind. Power outages, more power flashes going on across Laporte. Likely a portion of the town just lost power at this point. Still some power on in our immediate vicinity, but you could tell behind that that power did go out. There's heavy rain falling at this point, but again, it's hard to tell just how heavy that rain is until, of course, I say it, and then we're seeing an increase in the rain as well. Our car is pointed directly at this thing, so we are looking directly to the west and southwest at this point, and you can see just how strong this is coming through.
Dave, I'm going to interrupt you a little.
Right now, not seeing a ton in the way of...
Dave, I'm going to interrupt you here for a second. I'm just telling you right now.
Go ahead, Tom.
The people that are watching this is Laporte, so this is 30 minutes from South Bend. What you've just witnessed is the reason we have Dave where he's at. We're giving you the first warning of what's on the way. These warnings are real. Strong wind gusts are coming, and you can see multiple lightning strikes, heavy rain, and wind, and we're still getting estimates. Again, a lot of these warnings are for wind up to 70 miles per hour, and a tornado warning just in this case doesn't mean that a tornado is on the ground, but there's a concern with the strong wind that a tornado can spin up. Dave, you're getting back in motion here. What's your plan here going forward?
Yeah, so we're gonna follow this as much as we can. Obviously, not going to catch it. And we see some cones here in this parking lot fell down because of that wind. We're gonna try and head to the east on Indiana 2. Try and keep up with this thing as best we can. Of course, staying safe at the same time, and just giving you a sense of maybe the rain behind this line, because that is also a threat as well. It's not just the wind as it comes through, but it's definitely the rain as well.
All right, be safe, be careful, Dave. We'll come back to you with more updates. I'm sure you'll come across more damage and power outages along the way. Come back to the radar picture, and I'll show you what's happening right now and where Dave is. Dave is in Laporte, and this is that leading line. So up next, Rolling Prairie and New Carlisle, Fish Lake and North Liberty, within the next 15 minutes or so. So again, we're seeing where Dave just was in Laporte. Up next, Laporte is New Carlisle, North Liberty, Walkerton, the Fish Lake area, and then on towards South Bend. So we just witnessed that big push of strong wind. I'm going to continue to kind of go down the line here because I think the worst spot on the radar is currently being impacted Coomes Lake, Knox, Bass Lake right now, Monterey. Bass Lake, Monterey, Culver. Get to your safe spot now. This part of the line, I'm very concerned with for very strong wind from Bass Lake down towards Winnemac happening right now. Stand by Kewanna, Rochester, Richland Center. Strong wind is moving in. I'm going to switch over to the velocity mode again on the radar here, having trouble kind of clicking on this portion. But that's the one area that I'm most concerned with, is that we're going to see the strong wind beginning to move into this area. So we'll switch back to the velocity, and this really is a big indicator right in this area where we have some strong wind. New tornado warning now being issued as well. But very strong wind currently with all these bright blues across portions of Stark and Pulaski County as well. New tornado warning. This, as I was just talking about, that exact area for Fulton County. Now Fulton County under a tornado warning as well. This goes until 12:45. And this is because of the likelihood of what this radar picture looks like right in this area. So again, if you are anywhere in Stark, Marshall, now Fulton, and all of Pulaski County, we are really concerned about damaging wind and the possibility of a tornado. The possibility of a tornado. Here's the timeline as this continues to push across the area. I'm going to update this, but up next is Walkerton, Plymouth, Rochester, and South Bend. I'll move this line. We'll get an adjustment. This is moving east. This is moving east at 55 to 60 miles per hour with the gust front leading it. So get to your safe spot now. New Carlisle, South Bend, Plymouth, Culver, Rochester, Kewanna. Get to your safe spot now. Strong damaging wind is headed your way. Culver, 11:47. So now, South Bend, 11:58. 11:58. I'm giving you 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Get the kids away from windows. I'm really concerned about trees. They can fall on your roof. They can damage a house. That is what is dangerous right now. May not be a tornado, but straight line wind is a real threat. Rochester, the Plymouth area by 2:15. So again, if you're anywhere along the 31 corridor, midnight to 12:15. If you're to the east of 31, it's 12:15 to 12:30. That's the timeline I'm giving you right now. I'm giving you a first warning of 10 minutes or more to be prepared for that strong wind that is coming your way. The good news is this line may have weakened some, but we have really seen still a good bow here that's bowing into Marshall County. Marshall County may see the brunt of a lot of this, but I want to go out for this wider picture to show you what is happening right now at 11:47 p.m. If you're just watching, the map is red. Large, all-encompassing tornado warnings for Laporte, Stark, St. Joseph, Marshall, Fulton, Pulaski, even portions of southern Berrien and Cass County, including the Niles area. And the reason this is issued, these storms have had a history of producing multiple tornadoes that have popped up. It is not a guarantee that a tornado is going to happen, but we have already witnessed strong straight line wind. There's the possibility of more flooding and flash flooding and power outages. They are coming to our area soon. It has already moved through Laporte and Knox. Up next is South Bend, Plymouth, and Rochester. These are very widespread tornado warnings, all encompassing, because we don't have an exact target that, okay, there's a tornado on the ground here. We can't say that. What we can say is there is a bowing line of thunderstorms producing a lot of damaging wind that we're really focused in on. And you can see that here. Here's the warning box, and here is the bow in that line. The bow goes from Winnemac, now edging into Plymouth, not quite to South Bend, and it's pretty much impacting most of northern Indiana. Northern Berrien and Cass County, I have not forgotten about you. You are no longer under a warning, at least for severe weather. But I am concerned about flooding in Berrien County, especially once you get north of Buchanan and up towards the Cassopolis and Dowagiac area. There is very heavy rain there. So multiple threats all happening at the same time. I can't stress this enough to have the First Warning Neighborhood Weather app while you're watching this coverage, because different weather alerts are happening everywhere. I'm trying to give you the best information of what to do in this moment. Here is the bowing line of storms. The wind is just out ahead of it. So right now, currently crossing into far western St. Joseph County and far western Marshall County. The strongest wind right now beginning to edge and likely push into Plymouth by midnight. For South Bend, it's probably around midnight to about 12:05 or so. So I'm giving you 10 to 15 minutes of lead time here just by what I'm seeing on the radar picture. New Carlisle, you're up next. New Carlisle, the wind is almost there. Wind, heavy rain, a lot of lightning. And we continue down this line. What looks to be the worst right now is Winnemac to Rochester, Kewanna, Plymouth area as well. When you see this kind of edge, I mean, this is a knife's edge on the radar and really indicating a very strong portion, especially when you have the reds and yellows indicated in here, a very strong portion of this line. Our top concern is straight line wind. Yes, tornado warnings have been issued, but I'm not really interested whether things are going like this or like this. This is a dangerous situation, and I need you inside, away from windows, and you need to know if you're in the Rochester area, you have until midnight. If you're in the Argus area, midnight. Plymouth, probably about 5 minutes or so, so just after 11:55 when this line moves through. Power outages are likely to be happening here. So again, this is a severe line of thunderstorms. Tornado warnings have been issued out in front of this because of the strong, damaging wind, and tornadoes can happen in a very short time step. We're talking 1 or 2 minutes. They can touch down, they can lift up, and then it's continued more straight line wind. So there isn't an exact tornado target that we're saying, okay, there is the tornado. We're saying tornadoes are possible along with the strong straight line wind threat that we're seeing across much of the area. Here's an update. I'm going to continue to move this target timeline as well as we move this through, because this line continues to update here. So this is the latest update. I'll kind of move the map as well along here as I'll give you an update on this line that as it continues to move through, primarily in northern Indiana. Yes, there are storms happening in Berrien County, but this is now the prime area of concern as we continue to kind of move the storm track along right here. Give you one update as I kind of move this over and give it a little bit of a scan. So there is the next update as far as the estimated arrival time. Plymouth right now, so that's 11:53. South Bend, 11:59. So again, right around midnight if you're along the 31 corridor, or a little bit earlier than that. Napanee, 11:10. So if you are to the east of 31, closer to Indiana 19, we're talking 12:10 to 12:15. We're on standby here in South Bend. I know we may have a live shot up in the Howard Park area. If that is up, we'll take that here in just a second to kind of get a preview of that, of what is coming here. Also the Warsaw towards the Middlebury area as we head towards 12:30. These warnings could be expanded throughout Elkhart County if this continues. I want to get a picture, and we may go to him if we still have good signal, of the mobile weather tracker right now. It just froze up in Laporte County. I was just watching it over to the side here. Extremely heavy rain as well. The concern will be also for flash flooding, but you can see the bow in this line. So this is really starting to edge in here, and I want to kind of zoom in even a little bit tighter in this area. So I'm still watching this all very closely from South Bend towards Lakeville, now just moving through Plymouth. The strong wind, you notice that bow, again, a very tight, nice edge there. The wind has not yet reached Lakeville. One good thing I'm seeing about the radar picture for St. Joseph County is it is less alarming than what I'm seeing to the south. It is probably more concerning through the Plymouth and Argus area right now than what I'm seeing across St. Joseph County, but there is very heavy rain, and I'm probably concerned mostly about flooding and flash flooding across most of Berrien County right now, not necessarily the wind threat. Can we now take the mobile weather tracker? I'm getting a good picture there. We may not have their audio just yet, but let's get a picture of what it looks like on Indiana 2 in Laporte County right now. This is a picture of the mobile weather tracker. This is Indiana 2 coming into St. Joseph County. There is a lot of lightning. There's a lot of heavy rain. That is a definite. And then there's going to be a leading gust of wind. Right now the mobile weather tracker is behind that. But we're coming into South Bend with the storms right now. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield, are you on the line riding along here? What has your ride been like now on Indiana 2 as you head into St. Joseph County?
Yeah, it's extremely heavy rain, Tom. A lot of lightning. The cloud to ground lightning, so the lightning strikes have increased over the last few minutes or so. And the rain is so heavy that it set off our car's auto crash detection system. So there were no cars around us, but it was such heavy rain that it thought that we were about to collide with another vehicle. That just gives you a sense of how torrential this rain is right now. and it really shows no signs of stopping. The wind is relatively strong, not as strong as when the storms came in, but still, this is a wind-driven rain, but it's extremely heavy and really could lead to flash flooding very quickly. We're being safe. We did see some scattered power outages throughout the Laporte area. A lot of dark areas off in the distance as well, although some folks still do have power at this point. We'll continue to keep you updated as we get a little bit closer to South Bend, try to maybe get out ahead of this thing. Otherwise, we're going to be as safe as we possibly can, because it's not just about the tornado or wind threat, but it is truly about the flooding threat as we get past that main line. And the lightning is just incredible as it flashes across the sky, and you can see the wind whipping the rain across the road here as we're on Indiana 2, getting close to the dog bone with 20. But we'll send it back to you in the studio. Tom?
Thank you, Dave. I can point out with the rainfall rate and your information exactly where you are. You can see Lake Park. Here's the 220 interchange. There's New Carlisle. So right through here, this is where that heavy rain has been falling, and we're seeing rainfall estimates from the radar up to 3 inches per hour. So extremely heavy rainfall. We have a new warning coming in as well. This is a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is for northern Cass County, northern St. Joseph County. Not that I don't think this is important, but this is for wind up to 60 miles per hour and not a tornado threat. So for our northern counties, severe storms are happening, heavy rain, lightning, but there are bigger fish to fry, literally in this case, because of the heavy rain and tornado threat we have now moving into St. Joseph County. So happening right now, the heavy rain is in New Carlisle. The wind is about to pick up in South Bend. So here is that leading edge, South Bend, 11:59. So we're about 2 minutes away. I want to go to a couple other cameras now. We have a shot in Howard Park, I believe. Can we take that picture? And also one at Notre Dame. We'll take the one. Here's the picture as we kind of wait on standby right now. This is Howard Park. You can kind of see the Key Bank building in the distance there. A good view. We're kind of in a sheltered location. We're waiting on that wind gust to arrive. Keep this shot safe. Again, tell our reporter Jackie to stand by. Wind and rain are coming likely within the next 5 to 10 minutes. Now let's go to the Notre Dame camera as well. Things all seem pretty serene and quiet. This is looking towards the north and east, so this is looking towards that severe cell to the north and east of here that we're seeing across portions of Cass County that just went severe. So this is looking away from that front that's moving through right now. But our focus, again, is still on a lot that's happening right now. Come back to the picture and we'll focus in on